All right, let's dive in. If you're ready to completely change how you work, create, and even think, well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to break down 10 AI tools that are all about giving you instant productivity.
Okay, let's be real for a second. Does this look familiar? That feeling of just drowning in work? Your to-do list just seems to get longer and longer, no matter what you do. It's a feeling we all know, right? But there is a better way.
So, what's the solution? Well, I want you to meet your new AI-powered productivity team. And we're not talking about complicated code or some far-off future tech. We're talking about a lineup of practical, super powerful assistants that are ready to go right now to help you get more done with way less stress. First up, let's talk about supercharging your creativity. This first batch of tools, it's all about smashing through those creative blocks and turning your ideas into actual stuff, like right now. You know the feeling, right? You're just staring at a blank page, or maybe a blank canvas. That blinking cursor, it's almost mocking you. And that brilliant idea you had 5 minutes ago, poof, gone. It is so frustrating, but honestly, this is a problem AI was practically born to solve. So meet WriteSpark. Think of it as your AI co-writer, a collaborator that literally never runs out of ideas. It doesn't matter what you need, a first draft for a blog post, a tricky email, a bunch of social media posts. This tool takes you from that dreaded blank page to a really solid starting point in just a few seconds. Okay, so that's words. What about pictures? This is where VisionCraft comes in, and it basically turns you into an art director. All you have to do is describe what you want to see. Seriously, something wild like a photorealistic astronaut riding a horse on Mars, and boom, it creates it for you. It's kind of like magic. And oh man, this next one, for anyone who has ever wasted hours and hours fighting with PowerPoint, you're gonna love SlideFlow. You just give it a document or even just a few bullet points, and it designs a professional-looking presentation for you. This is an absolute game changer. And the best part about all these creative tools, the workflow is so simple. It's really just 3 steps. 1, you tell it what you want. 2, you give it a little bit of context. And 3, it spits out a draft. That's it. You're still the one in charge, you're still the director, but you never, ever have to start from zero again. All right, so we've covered the creative stuff. Now, let's switch gears and talk about automating the everyday. You know, all those little, boring, repetitive tasks that just seem to eat up all your time. I mean, are you just buried in this kind of stuff? All the administrative work, the scheduling, the endless emails, trying to organize your notes? It's the daily grind, and it's what stops you from focusing on the work that actually matters. So what if your inbox could just manage itself? Well, that's pretty much what Inbox Zero does. It actually learns what's important to you, sorts your emails automatically, helps you write quick replies, and makes sure that the only things you see are the ones that really truly need your eyes on them. And meetings. Ugh, they're necessary. But trying to remember every single detail is impossible. That's where MeetMind comes in. It's like having the perfect assistant in every call. It transcribes the whole conversation, but then, and this is the brilliant part, it identifies the action items and writes a perfect summary for you. Think of Autopilot as the super glue for all your apps. It lets you connect them together to create these little automated workflows. And you don't need to know any code. For example, you could easily set up a rule that says, hey, when this kind of invoice hits my email, automatically save the attachment to this folder and add a reminder to my to-do list. It just happens. So it's really important to get the difference between these two. You can think of it like this. MeetMind goes deep. It focuses on one single event, a meeting, and captures everything. Autopilot, on the other hand, goes broad. It connects lots of different apps to handle ongoing tasks that happen over and over again. Okay, for our last section, we're moving into something really cool, unlocking smarter insights. This is all about taking that mountain of information and data we all have and turning it from just noise into something you can actually use. Are you ever just completely overwhelmed by this stuff? You get a 50-page report or a super dense article or a spreadsheet that just scrolls forever? Trying to figure out what actually matters in all of that can feel, well, impossible. Well, say hello to SynthRead. This is basically your AI research assistant. You can feed it any long document you want, and in seconds, it gives you the executive summary. It does all the heavy lifting, reading the whole thing so you don't have to, and it just pulls out the most important arguments and key facts instantly. DataDive does pretty much the same thing, but for numbers. You can just upload a spreadsheet, and instead of you having to mess around with pivot tables and charts and all that, it just analyzes the data for you and basically says, hey, here's what's actually interesting in all this data. Look at these trends. And here's a perfect example of what that actually looks like. Instead of staring at a giant wall of numbers, you get a super clean table like this. It immediately shows you, hey, the North region had the biggest growth last quarter. It's not just data anymore, it's insight you can get in a single glance. And our last tool, TrendSpot, kind of zooms out. Instead of just looking at your data, it scans everything, news articles, social media, market reports, to help you spot what's coming next in your industry. This gives you a massive strategic advantage. So let's zoom back out. When you start to put all these different tools together, they stop feeling like just a bunch of separate apps. They really become something more, like your own personal, incredibly powerful AI assistant, totally customized to how you work. And really, forget the names of the tools for a minute. Let's focus on what this means for you. These are your new capabilities. You can instantly draft content. You can generate totally unique images. You can automate all that boring admin work. You can summarize complex info in a snap. And you can analyze data to find key insights. This is your new productivity toolkit. You know, there's this great quote from the computer scientist Alan Kay, and I think it fits perfectly here. Because these tools, they aren't just about getting through your to-do list faster. They're about freeing you up, giving you the time and the power to actually invent what comes next. And that really brings us to the most important question. After seeing everything we've talked about today, I want you to really think about your own day-to-day work. What's that one task? You know the one, the repetitive, annoying, time-sucking thing on your plate. What's the very first thing you're going to delegate to your new AI assistant?